Previously, I've demonstrated when lunging a horse how I like to be able to move their hindquarters on the circle. Now this is the second stage where I actually move their forequarters on the circle. So what I want to be able to do is when I lunge my horses, I'm not into doing 3,000 circles. Okay, I have better things to do with my life. I want to be able to make my lunging program short, sharp, to the point and effective. So the most effective way that I can work a horse on the lunge is by actually making sure that I can move his front end and his back end when I want. Essentially that's what I'm going to want to do when I'm on his back, so I need to be able to do it on the ground. So when lunging, okay, always remember to point in the direction that you want your horse to go. You should always step forward, because the last thing you want to do is step back and get that horse to come into you, because he's starting to push into your space. Okay, so point, and I want to move the shoulder away. So I'm going to point my stick at the shoulder. Now, remembering that when I lunge my horse, I want him to go around in a circle, and I want his whole body to be bent around me. It's like I am the horse's inside leg if I was riding him. Now, as I said, we've already done how to disengage his hindquarters on the circle, and I recommend your horse can do that before you do this exercise. So, by moving his shoulders, I literally just want him to change his direction by stopping his feet, rocking back over his hindquarters, and moving his shoulders in the new direction. Okay, so stop, new direction. So how do we do this? It's this simple. Stop your feet, the stick under your rope, pointing your move his shoulders across. Okay, stop your feet, point in your new direction, step and move his shoulders across. Okay. Now as your horse gets going with this and is comfortable, you can increase the pressure. You can ask him to do it quicker, or you can ask him to do it slower. This is a great exercise with young horses to get them used to short, sharp bursts of pressure without hurting them, without scaring them. You can see now he's wanting to stop a little bit because I've stopped him a few times. So it's important now to actually get him comfortable in going forward before I ask him to move his shoulders again. Now anybody who has a horse that when you lunge it, if it constantly is dragging out on the rope, like pulling on the rope, or if you've got a horse that's shoulders are headed out across the paddock and are not staying true to the circle, this is the exercise that helps you get that under control. Note, I'm using my voice because at the end of the day I want to use my voice when I ride this horse, so I want to make sure he understands my voice cue now. Now you can see how I'm starting to apply a little more pressure through the turns, and as such his turns are getting a bit sharp. Okay. It comes back down to that body language control. If I increase the energy in my body language, then he should increase the energy in his feet. Okay, so if I'm very calm and steady with this, which is what I was doing at the start, and I just take my time and step him through, okay, so I don't expect a big heap of energy on his behalf. But if I go move, 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 okay, I expect him to move a little faster. Again, it's one of those exercises that will help you build your relationship with your horse, whereby he is more responsive to you. It helps you improve your ability to be perceptive about what your horse is doing. So like if my horse isn't going forward and I can see that more clearly. If my horse is not stepping through, I can see that when I'm on the ground. It also helps you develop your timing, whereby if you get a little out of position through the turn, you get a little late or you step back, that pretty soon the turn will start to fall apart, and you can then go, hang on, what am I doing wrong here? And the great thing is it helps your horse become light and responsive. Like you saw that, I asked him to trot off and he didn't move, so I tapped him with the stick. If he doesn't move, I will tap him with the stick. If he doesn't trot out of the turn, I'll put my stick toward his bum and say, please go forward. I'll put my stick toward his shoulder to move his shoulder, and now I'll put my stick to his bum to keep him moving, because he wants to be a little lazy. He's not that keen on actually working. I do more of turning my horse on the circle through the front end than I do disengaging his hindquarters, because the more you actually disengage a horse like the more weight you put down on their front end. And I want my horses to be light through the front end. I want my horses to be able to move their shoulders easily and to rock their weight back over their hindquarters. Okay, now it's not always going to be pretty. Okay, there's going to be, you know, they're going to do turns sometimes where they pop through or their feet get stuck, or, you know, that's okay. Just keep going until you get a nicer turn, and then, as we always try to do, reward the desired behaviour. So when they give you that nicer turn, then let them stop and let them absorb the lesson. Obviously Jericho's a horse that has done a bit of this, and you can tell with this horse is that he's a fairly low energy horse. Okay, he'd rather stand here in the sun and go to sleep today than do this exercise. You may have a horse that is a lot more responsive and a lot more reactive. We have horses here that are, and that may mean you need to mediate your body language a little bit. If I was going to work him for the sake of actually like putting pressure on him, I would get quite strong with him, because he want to do as little as possible. So if I actually put a bit more activity into my body language, I know I'm going to get a better response for him. But that's just a basic example of how a horse should be looking to go. So he's only a young horse, he's a little better, but that gives you something to work on and something to help with your timing and feel by doing groundwork that's going to make your riding a lot better.